Hello everyone, this is the Cancrozans bringing you a Battlefield 4 video. Now this is going to be a new series I'll be starting, just a let's talk basically, and this could come from your guys' suggestions of things to talk about or just random things I think about. So this episode for instance is going to be on tips for beginners, or at least I'll eventually get onto that subject because I want to sort of talk about the PlayStation 4 capture card and stuff like that before that, because I am recording this gameplay with the capture card and it took me like 5 months to learn how to record it. It's a bit exaggeration since the PS4 is not that old, but you know, it is sort of complicated a little bit how it's, you know, you have to learn to press the share and it's only 15 minutes, and then you have to go on Facebook and download it off that. I might be sounding like a noob, but you're better with a PVR or something. Sadly, I can't hook that up to my PS4 as of yet, but you know, this is a not too bad little system they've got, especially if you're wanting to just start off your YouTube channel but you're not wanting to fork out £200 or whatever. So it's a not too bad little system, and since this is the first time I'm using it, it might end up being like 0p, but you know, hopefully it'll be like HD and stuff like that, and the capture card won't look a mess. So this is a team deathmatch I get into here, because team deathmatch are nice and short, they're around sort of 10 minutes in length, so I can definitely keep a serious sort of team deathmatch and just do talking over that if you guys are wanting to. But I could also go into Rush, maybe give you guys some tips. Not saying I'm a total beast at the game, I'm only level like 10 or something like that, so I'm nowhere near a beast. I don't get a ton of kills and like negative deaths in this game, for instance. I think I get around 10, which is, it's not 10 kills and then like 2 deaths or something, which is not too bad, you know. I'll definitely take that, but I spend quite a lot of my time just sort of helping out the team, which is sort of gets onto my tips a little bit there in the video. It's really important to just help out your team and stuff like that. It's not all about the kills, although I am playing a team deathmatch, which does help if you do kill a player or two here and there. So if you guys are definitely wanting to sort of watch this series, if you're wanting to participate in it, if you want to give me a topic to talk about or anything like that, it could just be totally random. It could be whether you want tips on the game, if you want any just random stories, like what was your first pet a dragon, and I'll say is that true or false, try and talk about that in 10 minutes. Just whatever you guys want, just put in the comments, I'll think about it, and then you know, I'll do a video on it if I can still master the sort of PS4 graphic cardness. So in this gameplay I'm using the M4, and it's one of the sort of later on unlocked guns in the assault class, because I've been playing that class most often. I do like to go sniping and stuff like that, but I like to just go into a team deathmatch, use this gun and just absolutely boss it. It's just such a great gun. It's got 31 clips in the, well, 31 bullets in the clip should I say, which is better than say the Scar H, which only has 21. So having that 10 more bullets is definitely more advantageous, and you could get out of more tricky situations with when you've got more bullets, which is always good. And not only is it good at, you know, the auto fire, but it's got the single shot you can switch to as well, which I'll get into a little bit later on, but that is really handy, especially when there's a player that's not too far away but is at a distance where you're not wanting recoil and you just want to put some concentrated shots on them. It does always help. So getting on to the sort of tips now. Now Battlefield 4 is all about teamwork, as I'm sure you know. It is a game, you know, I'm playing team deathmatch here, which, you know, teamwork does help, but when you're looking at rush and stuff like that, it definitely helps more to do teamwork. Do not worry about kill death ratio. Apart from, you know, it does help to have a good kill death ratio in team deathmatch, but when you're playing rush and stuff like that, play the objective, help out your team as much as possible, go and plant down the bombs and stuff like that, go and defuse them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, go and do this and that. You could run about with your machine gun and then just go about with your defibs, just healing people, throwing down med packs, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be all about the objective, as long as you're helping out your team, because you're there to win, of course. And if you're just sitting back at your spawn with a machine gun, anxious to go out because you might die, then you know, what's the point in playing that particular game mode, to be honest. So just go out, just have fun, help out your team, and do as much as you can to help them. Now spotting does definitely help out the team. Now the amount of ribbons I have got from spotting is incredible. Like, just when you see an enemy, just press that R1, unless they're right in your face. You're not wanting to like say like, oh, enemy, hold on a minute, I just want to spot you. Right, there we go, continue. You know, you're wanting to, if they're quite far away, if you can't quite get a shot on them, then press R1 and then your team's alerted there. Especially with snipers, it's really handy. And look at me trying to heal that guy through the wall, it doesn't quite work, but yeah, it does help to spot. And of course, when your team knows there's enemies nearby, then you're going to get the medals and stuff like that for helping out your team. And if you keep spotting people, you're going to get more XP, which always does help, of course. And it's just a nice bonus at the end of the round to get an extra like 200 for the ribbon or whatever. So spotting, really important. Now the next thing, I was sort of talking about this a little bit earlier on, is the single shot. This is really handy. See, if the M4 had a burst fire, it would be the ultimate gun because you could turn it into like an M16. But the single shot is just really handy because I can literally like be at one side of the map next to all my team that are sniping and just pick off the other sort of snipers just on the single shot. Now I did end up putting a better scope on this that gives me more magnification, but it's up to you how much sort of accuracy you do want with your single shot, because if you're just standing there, especially if you've got a grip, you could just fire your gun and you've got no worries about being hit because you could be in cover from quite far away and they're like, where am I getting hit from? It's just so accurate with the single shot. So keep switching it down on the D-pad. Remember to keep switching between that, because you might see it in this clip, because I keep switching between auto if there's a guy near, and then if I see a guy running across the middle of the map, I switch to single and try and pick him off. So it does pick up quite a few kills if you just switch it to that single shot and then go for like a headshot or whatever. So it's always good to mix it up a little bit. And as I said, even if you want to change your scope, then you can do, but you know, you unlock more scopes as you get along. So just try the single shot if you've not already, but you know, as long as you're not doing it with like a submachine gun and you're actually doing it with an assault rifle, you should be doing quite well with it. And my main sort of main thing to stick to, especially when you're starting off, is stick with the team. This works with every single game mode. Now team deathmatch, you're wanting to stay around with your team, you're wanting to just because as a team, you know, you're going to be quite strong, you're not going to be taken out as much, and especially if you're a medic, you can just heal the people around you as well. So stick as a team, you won't get killed as much surely, unless you keep getting hit by RPGs or something like that, and you should do quite well. And especially when you're starting off, it will gain you a little bit more confidence, you could say, and it'll get you just a little bit more embedded in the game. So that last tip, just remember to stick to the team and you should be able to survive. And if you keep working well together, you should win the objectives as well. So stick to that and you should do pretty fine. Now I was shooting my own teammate there. I'm still a little bit off a noob at this. Like I've done that quite a lot. I'm shooting at a guy 5 minutes straight and I'm like, how are you not dead yet? And I'm like, wait, that's a teammate, damn. But as you can see, I'm just running about, just getting as much sort of points as I possibly can, defibbing that guy, putting down the pack lane, I should have switched to single shot there and shoot that guy, but I was just trying to help out my team as much as possible, which is always good. Now rush is a different sort of thing. I could do videos on rush if you do want me to, although I'll probably end up being the last half of the game with the PS4 capture card. But rush, I do like to switch over to the sniper, and I'm not too bad, you know. You do have to get used to it, unless you use the zero in distance, because you have to, you know, the bullets drop due to gravity, so you have to aim above their head and stuff, which can get quite complicated. But it is quite a good thing to just try it different classes as well. Especially I've had this done so much times. You're playing a rush game and then there's a helicopter and there's a tank flying about. Well, not the tank per se flying about, but there's a helicopter, there's a tank, and your team is just not taking them out at all. So if your team is just not doing what they should be doing, and if there's not an engineer that's got an RPG out trying to take down the tanks and stuff, then do make sure you switch to that engineering class, because someone has to try and take them out. It's all about, it sort of relates back to the teamwork, it's all about the teamwork. You're wanting to not die, because I kept spawning in that particular game, kept getting killed by the tank, got really frustrated, and when you get really frustrated at Battlefield, it is not good at all. You're wanting to stay as sort of calm as possible to try and help yourself out a little bit. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this commentary, and if you're wanting to see more, then do leave suggestions down in the comments and tell me if you did enjoy this video. It would be appreciated if you left a like as well. I'm not saying you have to, you can leave a dislike as well if you want, if you thought this was god awful, but yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it nonetheless. Hopefully the tips that you guys have heard are they're probably generic or something like that, but hopefully they can help you. And I'm trying to get better at Battlefield myself, and maybe throughout this series I'll get you guys better as well as just talking about random stuff that you guys suggest or whatever. So more Battlefield hopefully on the way. I've been the Kankrazans, and I always will be unless I change my name or something like that. So until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.